Hey everybody, welcome to our Wednesday evening service. I know the month of December we're doing this online. A lot of people are busy, especially in this amazing season of Christmas. So before I keep going, I wanna let you know that that at Sunday morning at 10 a.m. we're gonna have a Christmas Eve service. Come early. We're gonna have a great time. We do have a culture in our church that we have breakfast before service, so everybody comes and mingle as a family. And after that, we go and have a good time. We're gonna have a good program. Kids will be singing. We're gonna have a great time together. God has prepared a date just for you and I, not you and I, you and him. So, as I preach on Sunday morning, I feel Sunday morning was one of those messages that as I was speaking, I was reflecting myself. I was just preaching to myself. I learned in America there's a phrase, it's preaching to the choir, but I feel that I was preaching to myself because I've been in this situation many times. A lot of us have promises that God has given us. I mean, especially for year, I don't know about you, but I like to know what's coming. So I always have a time in December to seek the presence of God in His secret place to find what He wants to tell me for next year. I already have my word for next year, and I'm going to be sharing with you very soon. But every time in the Bible you see God promising something to someone, you will always see the end result, but God will never show you the process. When the angel talks to Joseph in Matthew chapter 1, verse 20 to 25, I'm not going to probably read everything, but the angel talks to Joseph and he said, you take Mary. This baby that she has is Emmanuel, is God with us, is a seed of God. And he's going to be, this is the son that was given to you to fulfill what was spoken in the prophecy. So the angel tells Joseph every good part about having Jesus. It's like that small print in our contract. Every time you go to do a contract with someone, a dealership or something like that, there is a small print that a lot of us don't read, and we just when we get to the point that we want to have our rights, they said, did you read the small print in the contract? And that small print is called process. Sadly, I mean, I'm saying sadly because none of us would like to go through the storm. None of us would like to say, this divorce was good. None of us says, I mean, losing my family, losing my children was good. Seeing my husband totally lost in sin is good, or seeing the situation that I'm going through is good, or seeing that I have no money in a bank account to pay rent and I'm maybe 2 weeks ahead to be homeless. No one says it's good, the storm. But the storms in the Bible are so necessary because God never told Joseph that he was going to lose Jesus at 12. God never told Joseph that Jesus is going to be beat up because of being the savior of the world. God, the angel, never told Joseph that his son will never have a baby because he was going to die at 33 years old. The angel only told Joseph the end result. And a lot of us, we don't know how to translate, and we get a doubt of, am I in the right place? It's been 21, 22, 23, and now I'm stepping to 24. And it seems that I've been living in a eternal storm that I don't get to get out of this process. There's some points that I want to talk to you this evening. I'm recapping. I mean, going back to what I preached on Sunday morning. And if you want to watch the whole message, I advise you to do that. It's more details I want to have to give it to you this afternoon or this evening. Go on to our Facebook page, and you're gonna get to watch it. One of the things that we do have in life is there's three seasons or three stages in our life. One is moving forward, one is staying stagnant or staying in the place, and the other one is going backwards. Always God will force you to move forward. There's no time in the Bible that God never pushes to go forward. In our human mentality and a human being, we always going to push for us to be comfortable. That's why you see Peter, when Jesus was in the mountain of transfiguration, Peter, and he saw the glory of God, Peter said to Jesus, can we build something and stay here? Our human mentality, we always try to build something so I can stay. And Jesus said, nobody, you have to come down the mountain. So there's seasons in our lives that sometimes we move forward, sometimes we get stagnant, and sometimes we move backwards. My problem and my question with you is how long you've been in those seasons. Some of us have already outgrown our seasons. Some of us already have outgrown your bed, and you think you're still thinking like a baby, but you have grown, your body is growing. You have to move forward in life. You have to conquer those giants that have been facing you for a long time. I know God promised you a business and you've been working with this company for years, but you feel comfortable. That's why you feel stagnant in a place, and God is telling you, go move forward. 2024 will be the year for you to move forward. Let me give you a couple characteristics about moving forward. Moving forward, it's a constant pressure. It's a constant. Some of you say, Pastor, I want to move forward, but I feel like this pressure that I don't know if I'm doing right or wrong. That is what it means to move forward. No one will ever move forward saying, hey, I got it, everything is figured out. No. If you feel pressure, if you even feel, did I hear right? That is a sign of moving forward. Don't feel that you have to get it all figured out to say, I'm going to move forward. No. You will never be ready to be a dad. You will never be ready to be a pastor. You will never be ready to get married. You will never be ready to start a business. So readiness is not the requirement of God. Willingness is a requirement. So one time I was I was praying for about 2 months. God was asking me the same questions. He asked me, are you ready? And I remember I used to say, yes, I'm ready. You know, if you know me, you know that I prefer to be stopped than to be pushed. And God was saying, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. And after like 2 months of him asking me that every day, I said, why don't you tell me what you want me to answer? Because it seems like I'm not giving you an answer that will satisfy you. And he said, tell me this. So he came and told me one more time, are you ready? And I said to him, I'm not ready, but I'm willing. So readiness is not the requirement to be chosen. Readiness is not a requirement to move forward. You will never, if you're waiting to be ready to move forward, you will never move forward. If you're waiting to be ready to get married, you will never be ready to get married. Oh, we have to build houses. We have to do this so we can be a dad. You're gonna see that whenever you think that everything is ready to be a dad, when you have that baby, you're gonna know that you know nothing, because they're gonna totally transform your life for good. You feel that insatisfaction about the present moment. When you move forward, you're unsatisfied. I know that I have enough, but I want more. I know that I have this, but I want more. You know what? When you are stagnant, this is what you feel. You feel comfortable. Second, you use text, the Bible, scriptures like Psalm 23, like he makes me rest in green pasture. I'm not saying that resting it's not, but resting in the Bible was not laziness. Resting in the Bible was trusting God in the midst of moving forward. In the midst of the storm, you trust God. That's why you rest in his presence. It's not just laying down on your bed and doing nothing. When you're stagnant, you get mad when someone changes your routine. When somebody comes and say, I tell as a joke on Sunday morning, people at church, like some of us we're so stagnant that this is my chair. I've been warming up this chair for about 20 years. And when someone new comes that have no idea, they come and sit in our chair, we get mad because somebody come and sat in our chair. When somebody moved you around, when you're used to Wednesday night service and suddenly somebody said, let's do it online, not in person, I don't change my routine. So that is a sign of being stagnant, to being in a place where there's no movement in your life. You get mad when you have no control of the situation. When you cannot control the situation, you get mad. That means you're stagnant. Nobody can move you out. I call that the frog syndrome. You know what? Frogs have different approach to threaten things in their life that all the animals. So normally the other animals, if you put them in a boiling water or a frozen water, they will react. No, frogs have the ability to adapt. You put a frog in a container in an oven, and suddenly you start bringing that temperature up, and frog will never react to the situation, to the threatening situation. The frog will take time and will adapt to it. And that is the problem with us. We have the frog's mentality that we don't fight. We don't get so, let me get stagnant here. Let me get, finally I'm comfortable. You know what? I've seen a lot of people in the Bible and they were finally uncomfortable and God said, hey, get up and move forward. And that's why Israel had to move from tent to tent, from places to places. Don't get stagnant in a place. There's a promised land that is just for you. A sign of moving backwards. You feel a constant desire to return to the things in your past. When your past looks better than your future, you're moving backwards. When your only hope is that your future will look like your past, you're moving backwards. You're not moving forward. When you see yourself thinking more about your past than your future, you're moving backwards. When you have a little bit of hope of just a little bit of hope for tomorrow, you're moving backwards. You know what? I love this part because when Peter betrayed Jesus, he went to the same place that he was found, and that place was he went back fishing. So he didn't move forward. He didn't get stagnant like the other disciples that they went and gathered together in a place. He went back fishing, and that's what a lot of what we all do in life. That we go back to the same place that we were found. And to be able to close tonight, like I said, there's a lot more that I preach on Sunday morning, but I want you to go and watch the whole sermon. A lot of us has said, you may be telling me, Pastor, you don't know my situation. You don't really know what I'm going through right now. I can finally breathe. I can finally say I'm happy. You know what? Let me tell you this. God didn't brought you to this earth to warm up a chair on Sunday morning. You have a calling in your life. And I'm not saying your calling is inside the church. I'm saying maybe you're called to the business mountain. Maybe you're called to be part of the government. Maybe you're called to be influenced in education. Maybe you're working for someone and God said to you, I told you 2-3 years ago that you're going to open a business, but you said, Father, this is the wrong time to open a business, but in your name, I'm going to do it. I want to shake you off today. If insanity, the principle of insanity is that you do the same thing expecting something different. We're about to cross to 2024, and I'm going to challenge you to don't get stagnant. Don't move backwards. The best is just yet to come. The best for your family is just yet to come. The best for your life is the best for your marriage is of yet to come. To close, I want to tell you this. There's a story in the Bible that I really love. It's a story when Peter was fishing. He said that he couldn't get anything that night and went back to just to clean empty nets. Jesus was preaching. Jesus asked Peter to preach from his boat, and Jesus went up to his boat and started preaching. And just an advice. I mean, if you haven't watched The Chosen, you should. It's amazing, that series, and it's in Angel Studios. You should watch The Chosen. I love it. The Bible talks about that when Jesus finished preaching, Jesus looked at Peter and said, "Why don't we, Simon at that time? Why don't you go and try one more time? Try one more time." And Simon said, I've been trying the whole night. It's not that I've not been trying, Jesus. And I'm asking you, it's not that you have not been trying to move forward, but you lost your family member years ago and you're still in that process of grieving. And there's nothing wrong about stopping and grieving. But there is a season in your life that you must move forward. And there's a season you've been grieving for 2-3 years. It's time for you to get out of that pain and move forward. And Peter said, I've tried the whole night. I've been trying. And you may be telling me, Pastor, I have been trying. I truly have been trying. You don't know my situation, and maybe I do not know your situation. You've been trying, but I'm going to challenge you that for 2024, you try one more time. You may did a great job trying. You may got divorced, and you say, Pastor, I tried my whole time, but right now I don't know if I can just stay here. Let me stay here. And God said, do not stay stagnant. Your past is a very good advisor, but it's a horrible GPS. If you get stagnant, your past will guide your future. Your past will repeat the same thing, will guide you to the same thing. Move forward. I know it didn't work in the beginning, in the first try, but I'm going to challenge you to move forward. Don't get stagnant, my brother, my son, my spiritual daughter. Don't get stagnant. Peter said, okay, let's do it. And when Peter went back to fishing, I mean, the Bible says that it was, I don't know, thousands of fish came into the boat, even up to the point that he has to ask for help. And the reaction of Peter is the same reaction that you and I have when we encounter the supernatural power of God that forces us to move forward. Peter said, depart from me. Depart from me. I do not deserve you. I do not deserve you in my boat. And Jesus said, you know what? I'm going to shift. From now on, you're going to move forward. I'm telling you, I challenge you tonight. From now on, you are going to move. I command you behind that camera to move forward. It's not time to give up. It's not time to give up. It's not you are trying to take off your life. It is not time to give up. Try one more time. Try. Pastor, I tried 50 times. I do not care. Try one. I challenge you, try one. You're not part of that team that give up. You're part of that team that tries. Keep trying. You keep getting beat up, but you can. The problem is not how many times you get beat up. The problem is how many times you stand up and say, I am a fighter and I will not get down. Challenge you to do that. 2024 will be a year of abundance and more than enough for you. And I declare that over your life. Get ready, because the best is just yet to come. If God did it before, He can do it again. Shalom. God bless you. Merry Christmas.